It's not grabbing headlines yet, but Bitmine Immersion Technologies, BMNR, is quickly drawing interest from bold investors looking for high upside plays. This emerging name blends crypto mining, infrastructure innovation, and Ethereum accumulation into one of the most unique microcap narratives on the market. But is it all sizzle and no substance? Let's dig in. BMNR may not be a household ticker, but its growing relevance lies at the intersection of two massive forces: the rise of Ethereum as a financial backbone and the institutional push for scalable, clean crypto infrastructure. With an ambitious strategy that mixes self-mining, immersion cooling hosting, and an Ethereum treasury model, BMNR is being compared to the MicroStrategy of Ethereum. In this video, we'll unpack the details: BMNR's rapid rise, its investor backing, strategic positioning, and the real risks you need to weigh. If you're the kind of investor who likes to spot potential before it becomes mainstream, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Stocks Telegraph. BMNR, or Bitmine Immersion Technologies, is a US-based blockchain infrastructure company. Its business spans three core segments: digital asset mining, immersion-cooled hosting, and the sale of hardware and proprietary firmware. What sets BMNR apart is its hybrid model. It's not just a crypto miner, it's also a tech-forward service provider, enabling others to mine through hosted, immersion-cooled systems. This means it can generate revenue from hardware and services, even if crypto prices cool off. But the real kicker? Its aggressive Ethereum accumulation strategy. As Bitcoin once played the reserve role, BMNR is positioning ETH as the next-generation digital treasury asset and backing that with action. BMNR exploded into the spotlight after a string of catalytic events. Trading volume surged over 140% on July 24, 2025, with more than $21 billion in traded shares. That same day, the stock jumped 5.7%, riding momentum that would soon accelerate. A few days earlier, BMNR announced it had surpassed $2 billion in Ethereum holdings, 566,000 ETH and counting. That milestone, paired with a $250 million private placement, confirmed their treasury-focused strategy wasn't just talk. What really made investors take notice, however, was institutional interest. Peter Thiel disclosed a 9.1% stake in the company, making him the largest shareholder. Shortly afterward, ARK Invest followed with a $182 million share purchase, and Fundstrat's Thomas Lee joined the board. Social buzz exploded, Reddit threads blew up, and BMNR was being compared to MicroStrategy for Ethereum. It even briefly rallied over 1,000% intraday, grabbing microcap investors' attention across the board. The rally isn't purely based on speculation. BMNR has secured over $1 billion worth of Ethereum, creating real balance sheet value. Its private placement gave the company fuel to scale its holdings and expand infrastructure, even as it dilutes earlier investors. These Ethereum reserves act as both an investment and an operational buffer, reducing BMNR's dependence on revenue during its ramp-up phase. Backers like Peter Thiel's Founders Fund and Cathie Wood's ARK Invest bring legitimacy and long-term conviction to the company's direction. More than just holding ETH, BMNR is building real hosting infrastructure with immersion cooling, a cost-efficient, ESG-aligned approach that supports long-term revenue growth. Its operations in Texas and the Caribbean are laying the foundation for broader enterprise services in crypto and AI. Bitmine's growth story taps into several key macro trends that elevate its strategic importance. First, there's the growing institutional interest in using Ethereum as a treasury reserve asset. Bitmine's goal of owning up to 5% of ETH's supply aligns it with this trend and frames it as a strategic Ethereum proxy. Second, the regulatory environment is shifting. US lawmakers have introduced pro-stablecoin legislation like the Genius Act, which bolsters the credibility of Ethereum-based infrastructure. BMNR benefits directly from such legal clarity. Lastly, Ethereum's growing utility in DeFi, tokenization, and staking gives companies like Bitmine an embedded role in the financial infrastructure of tomorrow. Its accumulation of Ethereum isn't just speculative, it positions the company as a potential long-term player in the foundation of modern decentralized finance. BMNR has made several calculated moves to shift from being a speculative miner to a serious player in Ethereum infrastructure. Its $250 million private placement funded aggressive ETH accumulation and expansion of operations. While this did dilute existing shareholders, it also injected much-needed capital into the company and strengthened its asset base. Operationally, BMNR made a bold move in November 2024 when it acquired 3,000 ASIC miners from Luxor, tripling its mining capacity. These units are being deployed across Texas and Trinidad and are expected to generate over 400 PH/s of mining power, substantially expanding the company's infrastructure footprint. Despite its massive ambitions, BMNR remains in the early stages of its business cycle. As of 2024, annual revenue was around $3.3 million, small for a company with a $2 billion market cap. But those numbers don't tell the full story. Its valuation is largely based on Ethereum holdings rather than current operating profits. The dilution from the private placement increased the share count by about 55 million, bringing the total float to around 44 million shares. Still, trading volumes remain robust, averaging over 30 million shares daily. The company also filed a $2 billion shelf registration, which, while potentially dilutive, suggests that BMNR is ready to raise further capital if needed. Losses persist. EBITDA is around -$2 million, and margins remain deep in the red. But the Ethereum reserve offers a buffer, providing runway that many other early-stage companies lack. Investors should be aware that BMNR is a speculative asset with substantial risks. Its core value is tied to Ethereum prices and investor sentiment, not operational earnings. That means any downturn in crypto could devastate the company's market cap. The massive surge in its stock price was largely driven by retail momentum and meme-style enthusiasm, which can reverse quickly. Finally, regulatory risk looms large. Crypto policy remains in flux, especially around mining energy use and digital treasury strategies. Any sudden change in law or compliance burden could put BMNR's model under stress. Despite these challenges, many investors remain bullish on BMNR for its unique blend of Ethereum exposure, real infrastructure development, and serious backing. The company's small cap size offers asymmetric potential if Ethereum prices surge. With institutional names like Thiel and ARK Invest on board, the company has credibility and access to capital that most microcaps lack. Its infrastructure edge, immersion cooling, gives it operational leverage that extends beyond crypto. This tech could also play a role in the AI or high-performance computing markets, further diversifying its potential. BMNR is a stock with outsized ambition, huge volatility, and real underlying value tied to Ethereum and infrastructure. It's not for the faint of heart, but for risk-tolerant investors looking for leverage to ETH's future, it might be worth serious consideration. So is BMNR a hidden gem waiting to explode, or a speculative mirage driven by retail hype? We'll be watching closely. And if you're tracking explosive microcap opportunities, hit that like button, subscribe to Stocks Telegraph, and let us know in the comments. Is BMNR on your radar or too risky to touch?